welcome to the Playground Experience. I got my co-host here, April Williams, and later on, Kathy D will be joining us. All right, so we are talking about the energies. We had the full moon today in Virgo. I think that happened early, like 3 a.m. or whatever like that. And so there is a lot of emotional stuff. I was watching K Moon, and she was pretty much confirming a lot of stuff that was going on as far as the emotional, kind of like roller coaster that's going up, the emotional highs, the emotional lows, the feelings like, yes, I can do this. I love life. To one of my teachers used to always say, Booker, F my life. I was like, oh Lord, no, don't say that. But I mean, you might have some feelings that has came up or something like, okay, I'm gonna keep on talking myself into it. Tomorrow's gonna be another day. A lot of things coming out of left field, a lot of things testing you to your spiritual gangster to be more grounded. I know that was early in the week, and still seem like some things is coming in and from the universe. Uh, on the other end, still like a person poking at it, like, does this bother you? Does this bother you? Does this bother you? Does this bother you? Like, yes, it bothers me. And you're trying to first woo-side it, ignore it, and then it continuously keeps on going. And so this has been a real interesting process of a week for me. And like I say, roller coaster rides of highs and lows of emotion has been there. But thank God I have been doing the work. And I felt myself that when I went off, I always use that as my icon or my mascot, the little blowing of the wind thing at the dealership, inflatable, that, okay, let's go back. Okay, all right, let's go back. And that was very helpful to do that, because I know they're saying about the full moon that we have in Virgo is more so about getting perfection and getting ourselves in line too as well. And you got that Piscean energy too. And they were saying with the Pisces, kind of watch it, because some of us might not be wanting to really go deep dive into the spiritual things that we got to fix. We might say, oh, it's not that bad, or we'll spiritualize it and say, oh, we'll just namaste and namago it. And they're like, no, you need to stay in it and not namago it, and really get deep dive into it and see what's going on. They said we have to watch it. It's a tendency that we will go either too veer off to the left or too veer off to the right, or too much in our masculine and or too much in our feminine. So we have to kind of find a nice medium ground in the middle of the road to do. So I'm gonna let April kind of go in there and see what else, what have you been sissing and going with too for this week? What has been for you?
Well, the beautiful part has been a real, like, I guess, shaping of the wheat, from the chaff, from the actual grain, and things are filtering out naturally. So as long as I'm letting myself feel, and all these things arise, and some really deep clearings has happened. And if you have a chance or an opportunity to work with any light workers or energy workers or healers like myself, Kathy D, and Bertina at Miss Divine Unisouls over here, I would highly suggest it, because the additional work just try, um, as Divine Unisouls mentioned, that stuff from our childhood is coming through. So a lot of that clearing and healing. So as we start to go through our cravings, and what we really desire, um, we give into. Am I back yet? Am I back yet?
Yeah, now you
Okay.
back.
We
You
give.
went out. We
We
didn't hear
we.
none of the stuff. It's just like she's giving us the secrets to life.
It really was. It really was. Let me just pull over here. Just kidding. I think that would be dangerous. But I'm saying that, you know, it's not about judging our attachments to what it is we think we want, but more of why we think we want it, like what our pseudo attachments are, and how to actually bring to us that what we actually need, right? So I feel like the inner guardians are kicking in alignment. So our parental, if you will, or our guardian divine, guardian masculine and guardian feminine are coming in with a lot of grace and guiding us. And so even though our whole world is going through a state of, oh no, this is happening, or oh no, this is true or isn't true, and redefining how we connect with ourselves, our guardians are there to actually make it easier for us. So my guardian kicked me into wanting nutritious food, automatically started shifting me towards intermittent fasting. I automatically want to meditate and pray more, but these are all things that I've built in my kind of defense mechanism system. A lot of people have overindulging or addiction or different patterns like that are purging their way out of people. So, getting into that, breathing into that, and you know if you have a negative or a positive habit, and how to shift that. But you get to choose to shift it, and it can be either done easily or difficultly. And I know that I'm going to say that this might be a little opposite of what you would think, but it's easier to choose better nutrition when you're healing than if you're choosing the junk food and hurting yourself while you're healing, right? Because you're creating a compound injury. And so, you know, also giving yourself grace. So if you're learning how to do food substitutions or increasing vegetables, but then you have a little bit of slip back or you want a little bit of that comfort, it's okay to do that. It's just you've also got to let it go and keep choosing better, right? So it feels almost like an onion peel moment, like your realness is showing. No matter what you're doing, your realness is showing, and the universe is supporting you. It's whether you choose to see that support or not. Like Kathy D was saying, life is happening for you, not to you. And
Mm-hmm.
when you start to choose that empowerment stance, you start to actually take better care of yourself and your body and how you want to work the whole system. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful what's happening right now. I'm very thankful.
Yeah, and I would take that even a step further, not even for like food, but even food for thought. What things are you again um, taking in and digesting and becoming one with? Especially with now, it is really asking for us to separate and seeing about as far as what things that we are wanting and like what is the motive or the objective for wanting that very thing, and seeing is that really truly in alignment for what we need. And so I would say add that on too, as far as your digestive or your nutrition, as far as what are you feeding your soul too, as well. And so that's very important, especially at this time. I think that that's what they want us to really also look and seeing about what are we putting is in our think in our food, but what we're thinking and what we are pushing ourselves to go towards and to also manifest is another thing. I know while I was doing my own meditation and practice and stuff, I seen, and let me say this one too, because before I know it, I've been forgotten. I said I had that good mantra. I ran across this on Divine Feminine 777 7777. And she had a mantra for the full moon, which I thought was very nice, which is I release the need to have control over every second of my life. I open myself up to the unknown, magical, and unpredictable. I free myself from all fears, wounds, blocks that are holding me back. I allow myself to dive deep into the darkest parts of my internal world and love myself for who I am, because I am perfect. I am love. Okay, and I got the thing. Step into my power and become, I step into my power and become alive with love in my heart. And so with that is pretty, again, that's going into us really stepping into it, releasing those things that no longer serve us. Um, I think about it's kind of like in some ways they bringing me like several things, and I'm like, can you shift it and get down to what it is? But one of the things I know that was told to me is about the things that we are linking ourselves to. Am I free about to freeze? Linking ourselves to, and what we have to kind of remind ourselves is not to stay in it. So it's like the feelings that we have. It's okay for us to humanly to feel those feelings, but not to stay in it. Give us permission to. And so that's what in my reading, and I seen as also is something that I think again that's about that digestive. I might think something kind of negative, but not to stay in it. So I might say I feel anxiety, but not to link myself to say I am anxious, but I am feeling like I'm feeling some type of anxiety or something like that, but not to actually link into it. So I think this is what is happening with us is to be able to go into that flow and let these things like a water they're showing me like going flowing through you, these energies of these emotions, and not to stay there. Because again, like I said, it's something with me, they keep on driving me with this theme of understanding that we have to give ourselves permission to be human, and it's okay, and to still at the same time work our way to being divine. And it was interesting this morning. I seen that too. The guy say you must allow yourself to grow through it. And I was like, that is profound to be able to allow yourself to grow through the process. Is really where this Virgo moon is taking us to, and full moon. So again, what things, the intentions and things that we need to kind of really set forth and to move through is really truly being more dedicated into what we specifically are looking to manifest. They say harvest during this moon. We're getting into spring is what, Sunday? And so that's what we're moving into that. um, into the energies of spring and the newness that's coming with that. And like I said, in April, we're really going to be taking off. We're not quite there. And we're really setting up the foundation for some of us. One thing I know that was brought to me again, it's a feeling of us wanting to kind of go on it our own, but we might be pushed also that we want to collectively maybe work with people too as well, to make sure that this actually does happen. So right now you might have to find like what April has said, go into get in touch with myself or Kathy D or April about some things, because there's some things there that really is we can't do it alone. We're gonna need some linking of our own energies into others in order for it to propel and go on to the next level. When I think about the Virgo here is again, our consciousness, where is it at this time, is developing a new consciousness. There is an ending of cycles that is coming up right now for some of us, and I know definitely K Moon had talked about that as well, and was talking about how we're ending a cycle, but in really funny enough, we're starting another cycle. And I was like, okay, in this newness. So if we are in that period astrologically on the chart where we are ending one, but we're starting a new one, we would like to make sure that we're starting off with a new consciousness and a new footing. And so since this is bringing on, and that's why I say spring, bringing on Mayflowers, and also sprinkle between that, you got April, which is the water, and the rain, which is spirituality, really helping to propel growth during this new time that we have and that's happening between now and this May time that they're talking about. Uh, there is a work again that we've got to do collectively, not just only with ourselves, with our soul family, but also with spirit and coming together. And that's going to help to create that fast growth. Now, you doing it by yourself, I'm being brought to. It can be done, yes, it can be, but it looks like it's something about you joining forces with others is going to be able to help you to actually move things along. Oh, look at that site. Oh my God, we are actually on the move. Woo! That is beautiful. Now, if that's not taking a twin flame journey, I don't know. I don't know what is. Yeah, that is beautiful. Oh, those clouds are so majestic.
Can you see the ocean too? I don't know if my angle's right.
Yeah. Okay. I must be on. Where it's on? It's on the left. Oh, it's on.
Yes.
Okay. Just a
Am I
little
upside
bit.
down? Am I right side
No,
up?
no,
Okay.
no, 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 no. I see everything. I see everything. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I
I just
know.
didn't want to give you too much dashboard. I was like, that's a lot of dashboard.
No, no, no. It's not a lot of dashboard. Yeah, we're moving. We are on the move, people. We're on location. I'll say.
And the search for perfection, that was
Yes.
the thing, was there is no actual perfection. It's just
No.
starting where you are. Starting exactly where you are, acknowledging where things are so that you can move forward. And yes, when it's like trauma, yes, you can do a lot to heal from the trauma, but knowing that it does exist in the mind, or it has existed, means that's okay. It has existed, but that doesn't mean it affects you in the real time. Just like you were bringing it back to what you were saying a little bit earlier. There have been, you put up some meditations too. Did you talk about that at all?
No, no, I didn't talk about the meditation. Yeah, and so I was saying, yeah, what I did the. Well, I'm reading what you said. I've been meditating every Sunday with my oh right now fiance, and have been led to seek crystals for protection, also, and to eat better and fast. Very good. Yes, yes, yes. It's been guiding
Yes,
us
yes.
very much. So let me put that up there. Yes, and it has been guiding us. And even if you don't, Spirit will bring somebody to you to help out. I know talking with Sean and being on that class we were in on Monday that he's going to release about the stuff, and so um it was very helpful. I went and ordered the stuff that he was talking about, the ASEA and uh, ASEA, and it was very helpful. I'm like, just like that, stuff started turning and changing. So I was like, I didn't know I was
Ooh,
looking for
that ocean
something
is
new.
strong. That ocean is strong. I don't know. You see how hard the ocean's hitting, but it sounds like we're going through the most
Was
right
looking
now.
for something new, we go
Um,
in and out. It's gonna be the same thing with me. Just hang in there. We're not going. So we were trying to look for something new, and Spirit led that to me and say, you need to do this as well. So right now, let your intuition and your awareness lead you. But one of the things that I am really on this positive health behaviorist kick, which is the thing that I am healing my childhood again through my adverse childhood experiences, workbook that I have been using. And I had a couple of work meditations and practices that they given, and they said for us to record them. And I was like, well, you know what? Instead of me just recording it for me, I'm gonna go ahead and just release it out there for my people on my channel. For those of you all that, again, is a way that you can be able to work through both the practices. Is one of them is foot to head, and the other one is about self compassion. And through both of them is a way of getting your body involved, because a lot of what I've understood from my going to my therapy is that a lot of times the body, which we've always said, is keeping the score, is recording everything, is housing everything. And in order for you to be able to really release the trauma that happened, you really got to get the body on board with it, and you got to practice through your body to be able to release these things. And so that's what I gave the foot to head. Those of you all, because I'm about the childhood wounding, and K Moon was talking about how Chiron is going on with this woundedness, and it's coming out. and for you to be able to deal with it. So I'm giving you two exercises. Those that practice the foot to head, and the other one with the self compassion is another way to help you to release some of the things that happen in childhood. I don't know whether to credit to what Shauna giving me the seer drink or even doing the practice, but I hadn't been on my menstrual in months. And after doing it, it had opened me up and cleared me up, so I came on. So I think it is so detoxifying. Just the first practice, the foot to head of getting yourself more into your body and being able to release the trauma, that you're going to see major shifts. There go Archangel Raphael. He confirmed it. So you got that. You're going to get major shifts happening when you listen to the foot to head one. And if you do, please put down in the comments if you have experienced any things that have helped you to be able to shift, or some movement or some great things that have happened and occurred too. But I've already released those. So Spirit told me to do that. I felt led to. I said I need to share that, and I'll probably be doing some others from the book that I am reading, and I shared that also on my video as well.
So there's some really nice ways to embody. Um, uh, I'm really a big advocate for people embodying, right? So that means keeping your spirit active, that spirit energy active in the body. Because there's a lot of times we disassociate from the body, or because a lot of us have had adverse childhood experiences. So we we have a lot of different mechanisms for survival of that, and most of those mean to not be in the body as it is, or to use the body, exploit the body in different ways. And so, especially in terms of like eating mindlessly and disconnectedly, we really get to take this opportunity to spend time with our bodies, to spend time in love with our essence. And that's the embodiment process. So I have this, along with my book, I have a program that I'm starting next month. And I'm starting putting together the materials already for the course, but it's a 46-day reprogram. I call it the Yummy Yoni reprogram, where we're utilizing that clearing and connecting with the yoni, along with mindfulness and meditation and yoni steaming and proper nutrition, or at least more proper nutrition, clearing out the stuff that's blocking us. And it really is cool because I'm remembering things. Like a lot of times when you go through trauma, and all of us are currently clearing this global trauma, right? And it's so much easier when you lean into it versus avoiding it, because then there's even more to deal with on a regular
Mm-hmm.
basis. So I highly invite you, even if you don't join my program or any of Divine Sunshine's coursework, to at least take a mindful approach to what am I really not at ease with? What have I been lying to myself about? What am I denying myself from receiving?
Mm-hmm.
Right, because of any preconceived um, false storyline that was told to you as a child. Because there's so much warped information in the world. Now it's our turn to actually apply the discernment, right? And, you know, there can be multiple truths to an experience or a storyline, but what is your truth?
Mm-hmm.
And is that empowering you to keep stepping into your mission, or are you using it as an excuse to fade back and hold back? A lot of us are aiming at this perfection that doesn't exist, or we hold ourselves to a standard of will only be accepted if, when, this, that, and the other. And we're really get to open up into we're good right now. We're great right now. In
Mm-hmm.
fact, that's all the universe wants, is to bring us that which we desire. Now we need to choose to receive it. And You know, if it's not the right time or the space or the energy's off and you cannot receive it at that time, that's okay. Just look at it as great. I got an opportunity to grow and change. I thought that one was the one. It's okay. They maybe they either need to change or they weren't the one, but you know what? Take your time. I thought this job was going to be the one I was going to do for the rest of my life. Well, maybe that's not the job you're supposed to be doing for the rest of your life, but you're supposed to connect with those people or bring light to someone's life or just being in the right place in the right time to really activate what you don't even know. You know, there's a chain of events, the butterfly effect. We have been designed and created for this moment. The point is to step into the embodiment of the moment so that we can all live in this next stage with as much freedom as we could possibly muster. And that's what happens with Aquarius. It's for all of us. Now, it may
Mhm.
seem like there's pressures put on us to fit into different molds, but that's only because we get to break the mold. That's only to show us that, oh, this mold never really was working. Or even so, expanded versions of the mold, expanded versions of the self. What do I hear? The full moon is gotcha. And it's a really nice full moon, actually. I actually ever prepared my body by overworking out, so every muscle in my body's kind of sore.
Mhm. Kathy D said, "Can you explain what you mean by embodied?"
Okay, so the spirit stays in the body. So you know how people go into a meditative state or you go through a meditation and you feel this elevated, kind of fuzzy, bright, light, energetic feeling, right? You're cultivating that to have it in the now moment within the body. So even when you have pain or even through the breath and the breathing, you're connecting with every single cell of your body in the cosmic way. So it's more than just okay, I'm going around, I'm thinking about things that are not now. I'm responding to things that are not now. I'm anticipating things that are not now, so it's making me react in a certain way. That is a disembodied practice. Embodiment is, oh, what do I see over there? What do I see over there? What does it feel like? What does my skin feel like, right? So even like, let's say, touching your hand or um, your arm, rubbing your own arm, touching your face, you are feeling what it is to feel your face. And I'm not saying you can judge it or not. It's interesting. But the judge free zone and just letting things be how they are, it allows you to flow with the universe a little better. So you could actually bring what you want to you instead of fighting it, like push pull. Because I think
Okay.
we do consciously push pull away from things we think we deserve or don't deserve or have to earn or blah, blah, blah. Right? Because we have a lot of storylines and a lot of labeling
Right.
issues that we're clearing out.
Either one of you all come to pick me up. That's all I want to know. Because y'all both driving. I'm a
I would
slide
come
somebody.
get you, but you might be waiting a while, and probably even longer for April because she would have to have an aqua car. So
Exactly. I'm like, let's see, I got one good arm. I'm not that great of a swimmer. This could take a hot
Y'all,
minute.
I'm right here. I'm right here. I can wait.
I'm getting better at swimming though, so by the time, I think I might actually have to have a plane, a train, and an automobile through this for this process.
Okay, okay,
well,
okay.
I have the automobile. I just have to have a loan and to sell an arm and a leg to get there with gas. So
I thought I'd just throw that out there. Ask not, you get not because you ask not.
Well, I gotta ask for a whole lot.
So what's happening, Kathy D? What's going on with you with the energy?
the energies are amazing,
All right.
and the more that we get the realization that we are in control of our destiny and that this Virgo moon, this grounded earth sign moon, is here to, kind of get some organization and, push some things to the forefront, but not like it was in January, like
Uh-huh.
it is, now. And,
Okay.
really good, strong, positive things things are happening in just amazing, quick ways. Manifesting so easy. Really kind of going back to that whole thing about knowing that you're in control of your reality. And when you get to that point where you realize that the things people say about you, about your life, what you are able to do, what you aren't able to do, what you always have had the capacity to do or not do, goes out the window.
That is
It,
true.
it really becomes that, um, negate, delete, rewrite. I am, canceling this out across all space and time. I am deleting it from my mind and my life, and I am rewriting my story where I want it, the way I want it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And even though, we've all been there. We've had the readings. We've done all of the, numerology. I mean, we've done the gamut a lot of times on this whole journey, and we'll catch ourselves. And I know this was a while back, and you'd read it and you would all of a sudden be like, oh my gosh, this is going to be a horrible day. They just said, my Pisces is hanging upside down, and, my Taurus has an itch. And, so you're going through all this and you're thinking this is going to be absolutely horrible. And that's when you've got to go, nope, not my story. Not happening. Nope, not doing it. And but you have to have faith in it. It's not just saying it. You have to know it. You have to believe it. You have to be specific with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when you get specific with it, boy, some interesting stuff comes out. Especially if you are working with another person on manifesting stuff. Because all of a sudden, which I never thought, I mean, being an only child, yeah, you do have some control issues. Never thought I was really bad about it until in this situation, I realized that I was that kid in school that I would handle the drawing and you handle the note cards for the presentation. But I do the note cards too secretly because I just really didn't think you could do it. So having to stand back and say, okay, we're going to be specific, and this is the part I'm going to handle, and this is the part you're going to handle. And then saying, I completely and wholeheartedly trust you with this. I'm going to do, you know what? I trust you completely. And as many times at the beginning of this, I was like, well, if I and I would tell myself, no, that's how you screw stuff up, because you're trying to fix it and not letting the universe do what it needs to. So those things start coming up, but they're so in your face and so blatant. You were like, oh my gosh. And especially being a teacher, you're like, no, I'm not that kid. But yes, I was that kid. And so now is my chance to step back and not be that kid. Not be that one that, well, just in case, I'm always going to have plan B. Plan B is just the option to fail. And I'm tired of that option.
All right. Okay. Okay. I never thought about it, but you did bring up a good point, like some things trying to manifest. Am I trying to take over the reins, or am I trying to drive and be the passenger, or the one is reading directions at the same time when I told the person to read the directions to me? And I'm like, no, just give it to me. I'll do it myself. So
Yep.
that's interesting perspective. I'm gonna have to take that and really take an inventory on this very thing that I'm doing, and saying, are you trying to do all roles, even playing the act of God? Instead of just
well, and then
allowing
the thing is, we do it too because we think we're helping. Well,
right.
they got so much on their plate. They got, you know what? And all that does is make them feel less.
Mm-hmm. Right. That's true. Okay. Okay. You might be
And if
talking
you
to me.
trust them enough to share your hopes, your dreams, everything with them, and yes, we are partners in this. You are my partner in crime for this, and we're going to do this. but then you step in and you try to take over everything, you might as well say, well, you're my partner in crime for right now, but I just don't think you can hold up your end of the deal. And then we get mad because they're like, well, screw that, we're going somewhere else.
Right. Yeah, that goes blatantly in a whole lot of areas.
Yeah. So that's really what has hit me. But I just got to the house, so I got to log off and then log back onto my computer so I don't have my little halo. But I will see you all in just a moment.
Okay, gotcha. Bye. Yeah. So she brings up a very valid point, especially when we're talking about manifesting things. And again, K Moon had brought that really truly to home, stating that we had to. Is she on here? Is she home now? Oh, okay. Oh, you're not ready? Are you ready? Hold on, let me move you. Let me know when you're ready. Um, really, having an understanding that allowing others to be a part of the process, and that's really is what she's saying is been coming out. And that just I just had the moment even talking to her on having others too as well. Am I trying to be the Indian and the chief and the construction worker, playing all the roles? I don't know why they showing me oh Lord have mercy. I can see the village people. Am I playing all the roles of the village people? I'm the Indian, I'm the sailor, I'm the cop. I can't sing all them damn parts. So I'm YMCA and I'm doing all the harmony. I got to let all of them play their own little parts there. And some kind of way you need to ask yourself, are you the village people? Are you trying to play all the roles of village people? Or are you letting other people really truly play their role and harmonize along with you? That's interesting. They show me the village people because I can see them on American Bandstand, YMCA.
What I'm thinking of is I'm every woman, it's all in me. But I'm tired and I ain't got time, so don't mess with me. Oh.
Yeah, right. No, that is true. Now, wait a second. Especially this being Women's Month, History Month. It's again, we got that, but we don't want you to be part of history because you done wore yourself out. And so it's a difference. So
don't be part of the great burnout 2022.
Right, there you go. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm seeing. Her story. What happened to her? She burnt herself out. She's playing too many roles of the village people. But anyway, so no, we can't do that. But yeah, playing, staying with it, and I did that this week too as well. I think that was the mind that really helped me to get through the week is really setting the intentions, saying, reminding myself what is the intentions. That's why I always do that every morning too, and then really saying, okay, am I being part of? I'm saying I'm loved, I'm happy, staying in that state of happiness no matter what happens to me today, going back to that default setting, finding things to make sure I stay in my happy state, whether it's playing music. A kid told a joke today and I was cracking up about that. He's like, this house is sick. I was like, what's happening with the house? He like, he said, no, the reason why I said it was sick, because it ain't got he's like, it ain't got no furniture, it ain't got no kitchen, it ain't got nothing. He was playing some kind of software, some online game. But I don't know, it's the way he had said it. I like, whoever thought you would call an actual house sick? That was interesting the way the word that he had put it together. I like, what? Instead of saying, this house is bare, you're like, this house is sick. So, and I could tell, and that's why I cracked up laughing, because I like, that was an interesting word choice, how you giving an inanimate object that kind of feeling, because it didn't have all the necessities to him that made it being home, so he called it sick. And so I was just cracking up laughing at it. I don't know what that came from me to make me bubble up like that, but it did. So just finding moments like that to kind of get me back on track, to be happy and really understanding that now, new things like when they're leaving a job or leaving a place or whatever, like really drop it and leave it there and just keep on going. That's why we were saying earlier, I think that's one of the themes, and I heard you say it and I have said it too. And most of the time for the universe, when I keep on hearing it repeatedly coming out and repeat it again, they want us to understand that again is to let that stuff to kind of flow, to grow through it. Let it flow through you, but don't hold on to it too, especially with things that's going on, because things is very temporal, and the things that's happening here is either to help you to shift and just to keep it moving, or like somebody said, the two things: to pain or to evolve, or to stay the same or to evolve. It's one of the two why these things come. You become more of what you are, or you either evolve and change into something else when these energies come. And the choice is that they will hopefully that you will want to evolve and not to come more of the same in the negative. That's where we have to make that shift right now where we are. So this is what what Kathy D had said is kind of really triggering me and making me kind of really shift it and really think about that as well.
And what's beautiful about Virgo and the Virgo strength is about seeking out your actual pleasure, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
pleasure without pain.
Mm.
Venus Venus is Venus is not Virgo exactly, but in a way that
Okay.
energetics. I know Libra is more of a Venus, Venusian, and Taurus is more of Venus, but when we're interacting with like how Pisces is this dreamer, we
Mm-hmm.
actually want our dreams to become a reality, but we're shifting out what is unsustainable about our dreams. Like wanting that whole Cosby family like setup is not really realistic, but feeling that love is, and
Mm-hmm.
cultivating that love is ultimately through that. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be conventionally like any type of stereotype. And I think that's what's actually the Virgos revealing is we're all receiving pleasure, but from things that are not stereotypical, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to be by yourself and enjoy life, but it's also okay to be with and share with others if that's what you're resistant toward, right? Because there's a lot of clearing of the resistance, clearing of the path of anything that has blocked the path,
Mm-hmm.
even if it
Mm-hmm.
means your superficial belief systems. And
Right.
there's a lot of superficial belief systems that are really deeply clearing themselves. And I know everyone's talking about ancestral wounding and generational wounds and things like that. And they actually are clearing through us, realizing that our pleasure and our voice and our beings are actually important and valuable. And it doesn't make anyone else's less simply because we want, and someone else's accomplishments don't make our accomplishments less. And so it's a really nice balance that's been
Mm-hmm.
happening. I can see the clearing, and I definitely feel more empowered to be doing what I'm doing, to be in the world or of the world and not necessarily just in it, even though I am
Mm-hmm.
in it.
Yeah, and that's I think that's again is what they're trying to say is in it, but then again, not letting in going back to the word of the day, I guess, in the neighborhood, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood, or in the playground experience is embody. Not to embody what's going on, especially like what's in the environment in the world, and like you said, we're clearing a lot of stuff too as well, and we've got to just not to be engulfed with all this extra stuff that is actually going on and not find ourselves being swept or taken under, especially being empaths. We're like, I feel that the world and what's going on across the pond and all that extra stuff. And not saying that we're not, but again, going back to what Sean has said, we're learning how to be sympathetic. To again, a combination of being sympathy and empathy. I could put myself in there, but I don't need to intake all of that energy in as well, but I
Mm.
can feel it. I know what it is. Like I said, I can send the healing, but to become one with it and find yourself going into those lows and things of that and take it on for everybody else. And yes, I know some of us are here to be a channel for that too as well, but it's just an interesting mix of how they wanted to actually like let it flow and not feel like I've got to do this for the world. That's your thing, your push
Ego.
to it, the
You're
ego.
straight up like
Right,
the negative
doing that.
aspects of ego. Because there's positive aspects of ego, but pushing you thinking what you know is best for someone
Mm,
else is a very egoic thing, and that's why a lot of people end up staying or get put in toxic relationships in the first place. Is because there's a wound there that came early on that they think they need to control another
right.
being's shifting or evolution when you can't control another being, you can just control yourself. So this release of the perfectionism gives you permission to say, okay, I can't fix every single error in this paper, or I can't just say this is how you need to fix your, because it's not your dissertation. It's not your dissertation. You can suggest things, but that doesn't mean they're going to shift it, and they're going to evolve and elevate in the way that they need to. So you take your
Hmm.
time, you take your space, and you appreciate yourself and your perspective without as much attachment. And I think that's why I like that chapter in my book where I talk about the Christ consciousness. It's called Buddha Meets Christ chapter, right? So you're going with Christ consciousness and then the middle path. As and so, being able to find that balance is really key to integrating to the other side of this fifth dimension, but we're all going. It's whether you lean into it and you choose to fade in, or you like fall in it and it's all like tower moment after tower moment after tower moment.
Hmm. Yeah. Kathy D, anything to add?
Yes, ma'am. Um, I think we are. I think we are clearing some of, or clearing a lot of the ego stuff. Everybody froze on me. They all closed their eyes and went to sleep.
No, I mean,
I'm
I
shaking my
We are
head.
clearing a
that's
lot
so
of the.
sad. You got frozen with us like this, passing out.
I'm gonna miss.
I know. I was like,
Uh,
but yeah, I think that like Sean has said, we have got to be able to, be empathetic to someone and sympathetic to them, but not to the point of selling our own selves short.
mm-hmm.
Not coming in and trying to be the hero. And then, just to reiterate, like you guys said, you can't fix a person. Whoever said, who are you to say that person is broken? You're,
Right.
you're not fixing them because they're not broken. They might not do what you want them to, but they're not broken. Nobody's broken. We might bend, but we don't break. And then we have to get into that ego state of looking at, well, if we do these changes, these things, um, what's that going to change? Nothing.
Mm.
But if we take that time and spend that time changing ourselves, because 9 times out of 10, what's aggravating us about that person is some, you know, trait that we have.
Mm-hmm.
Or just now here's the other part of this. A lot of time it doesn't have to be a trait. Sometimes it is. But like in the situation of karmics, things aggravate us to make us move. It's just kind of the universe's way of saying, you've learned your lesson. You need to move before we move for you. And it ain't going to be pretty if we do it. And, that's that part of it. So we have to be mindful of where is this coming from? And what are we tolerating for what reasons? Bad behavior should not be tolerated. Like I tell my children all the time, I don't negotiate with terrorists, because they will overthrow, my monarchy in a heartbeat. So, but you have to have that room to understand, are you being a tyrant or are you being a fair and just leader, especially with my children. But you have to really look at what is aggravating you, why is it aggravating you, and what do you want to change. And sometimes it's just that you need a change. It's not anything with them. It's just you need a change of scenery. You need a change of pace. You need a change of person. You need that change. And you just get to the point where it's like, this is so not worth it. This just is not what I signed up for. And you catch yourself saying things like, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have what I want. And not little things. We've got to stop, especially with this moon tonight. We've got to stop playing small. Stop playing small. You know what? You deserve every dream and hope you have. It's energy. And we can manifest these things. We can bring these things in as soon as we believe that we are entitled to them. And not even entitled, that it's just a given right. Everything is energy. Everything happens like it does. And when you get into that state, we start to see things happening. And, not too much away, but I had a major breakthrough and block that I had toward money open up and fall to the wayside today. And so I know that the the manifestations that we're working on, they're about to happen. It's coming really, really soon. And some of it took getting mad at myself. Some of it took me, I guess, really having a stern talk to myself with, and kind of just telling the universe then, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I know these are the things that are involved. I know this is what I'm going to have to do, and I'm ready. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of living like this. I'm tired of being afraid of money. I'm tired of being afraid to open mail. I'm tired of it. Nothing to be afraid of. It's energy. Why am I afraid of correspondence and energy? Those sound like very harmless things, but when you give them an ugly face because it's something you've grown up with having a fear of, or family members hearing that they fought over it, or this has always been the problem, or when it always seems to be whenever you hear people talk about divorce, or you're ever working with anyone with divorce, it's always, well, the thing we always fought about was money. It seems to be money and trust. And I can tell you can have all the money in the world and you can have absolutely no trust, and you can have absolutely no money in the world and have all the trust in the world. So those two things don't actually go hand in hand. So anybody that thinks they need that for the other, it ain't gonna work. But but money is always this thing, if we didn't have the money, trust me, if you are going through a divorce or have been divorced, even if you have all the money in the world, there would be another problem. It is not, that is not the one single problem. Yeah, there's always more to it. People just want to stop at that first one. But this moon is bringing in these really good pushes. They're waking people up. They're bringing in gifts. If you haven't felt it yet, it's coming, and your intuition is going to be like pinging like mad. Your timing, divine timing, like we talked last week, divine timing is on point. I mean, it is ridiculous on point, like to the point of saying things like, all right, universe, I got this. I got other things I can do if such and such doesn't. I don't know.
He froze. You get to it. Don't even. I do it all the time. I just wait, and then I come back. We come back on. Keep on going. I used to.
Can we? All right, I'm back.
Okay.
But it's that whole thing. We have to
And see, I just universe threw me off. I guess I wasn't supposed to say anything because I just totally lost my train of thought. That train derailed.
Yeah, you was talking about how
But
things happen and manifest. It almost like was trying to get you off your square, derail you. In some ways, that was kind of
yeah,
what
it
you were
was.
talking about.
It yeah, but things are happening and things are happening quickly, and all of these things are coming online, and we are really being able to see and be open to things. Just crazy things like phone calls at a certain time when you tell the universe, look, if I don't hear from this company or this business or this whatever you're trying to do by such and such point, I know I'll just give up. I'm not going to sit here and wait. And sure enough, bing, phone rings. um Things right before, like, I had lost my classroom keys for 2 days, couldn't find them. I called them in, I talked to them, I did everything, and all I kept getting is right here, right here. You know where right here was? Right behind the seat of my car, where I set my purse. I had been setting my purse on them for 2 days. I just hadn't paid attention to the energy that was being sent. So, there's a
Wow.
boy.
It's a
Easy
hand.
there, Mom. Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
hand. A gigantuan hand. It's like the universe saying it's a sign. It's giving us something. It's a hand.
It's a sign. It's a sign to stop.
Right.
Stop and pay attention. Your keys
Stop
are
and
right
pay
there. Yeah.
attention. Right. Right. Oh my Lord. Wow. Yeah, but they say they've been coming on. I've been having a lot of deja vu too. I said they must be messing
Mm-hmm.
with things and moving things around. Deja vu. I'm like, didn't I just do that before? Or whatever like that. I said, okay. Yesterday. I was like, I remember that. I thought that happened like last. I remember me daydreaming about that last week and not actually seeing actually happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or
Uh,
saying something like, "Oh, wouldn't that be neat?" And then going on, and then, well, what do you know? There
no,
it is.
yes, yeah. Lot of deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. So this been a interesting, lovely of a moon. I was about to say something else, but I watched my verbiage. A moon of this one of interesting, of growing sorts. I would say of just really testing
But
and
it's a good push. It's not
it
a
is.
pull.
It is.
It's not where you're being, because think about it. When you pull something, it's another four. But when it's a push,
Right.
you push a swing, you push a wheelbarrow, you if somebody is hurt, or you push a wheelchair, you push open a gate, you can push open a door. But when you pull, that's forceful.
Right. Yeah.
You pull weeds, you pull gray hair, you
Right. And sometimes,
you
yeah,
pull a
nice.
dog that doesn't want to walk on a leash.
Right, that's true.
Yeah.
I've been in that
So, and
situation.
that's when the universe
So,
is dealing with us when we don't want to move like we need to. We have a pull
right, we have a pool.
instead of having that push.
Yes, 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 yes. On that one. Well, we both, all of us is having, I think that's some kind of way tech is like issues is saying, I think that's enough with tonight with the full moon. And I'm going to listen to what intuition and spirit is bringing since it is cutting us off one at a time. So, is there anything that we need to, of course, with me, I just did, please look at the free meditation and the practices that I put up. I'm going to do some more as I delve more into the book. There'll be free help for us with the adverse childhood, the ACEs experiences, and helping us to kind of push through that because I'm an advocate with that too as well. But of course, make sure that you check that out as well, because that's very helpful. And like I said, especially the one that you do from foot to head, that's something that you're supposed to do in the morning and at night too, as well, to help to create that shift, the changes of what happened in your childhood traumas or pain or wounding. Let's put it that way. Anything else, ladies? Don't forget the book. Definitely get the book. Please get the book.
This week, yeah, and this week the new website will be up. The Pineapple Fish Wellness. Email will still be the same, but the new website will be up this week. So, and just everybody remember, as we're going through all these crazy energies with the moon, negate, delete, and rewrite.
Yes, Lord.
Take anything, and especially, you know, the more outlandish, do it. Just do it. Try it. Go for, you know, something simple, you know, but when these crazy ideas show up in your head, when you start seeing these patterns, just like, you know, I saw with the being the kid in school, you know, negate, delete, rewrite, and do it fast. The minute it pops in your head, you've got to remember that, so it doesn't manifest, because that's the one thing with this moon it will do, is manifest very quickly.
However,
so use it for good, not evil,
as a gateway for yourself. When you do have things pop up for yourself, like, oh, I see where the wounding came up for that. I have compassion and do that. Because don't scare yourself out of thinking, I'm bringing it to life. You know what I mean? Because that's another psych out, right? Your ego's trying to find anything to keep you in the loop of the old paradigm. And so the more you approach it with love and the self-compassion and the self-care, you can definitely continue to do the rewrites. But it's all about the energetics with the rewrites. Although I know Miss Missy, she be mastering.
Well, and I think too, it's where people are.
What?
It a lot of it is where people are too. Like when these things are coming up, like if the universe, it's like just signs. They're just showing you, just showing you, just showing you. And you're, because it's what you've asked for. Make it plain, make it clear. You know, so then you're able to do that, negate, delete, rewrite. But if the universe is just bringing these to you as you're working through like childhood traumas, things like that, then it's more of a compassion. So both of them work. We just have to figure out what's the best for your situation. If it freaks you out, by no means don't do it. But, you know, other people need, you know, there are some of us that are like, I am done. I'm out of here. Let's get this stuff on the road.
Right.
And
right.
You know, some people haven't progressed that far yet, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, everybody's on a different journey. So we have to, you know, allow for that. And these are always just suggestions. I mean, you can be very compassionate with it and say, you know, I see where this is coming from and I understand this. And now, you know, I'm loving my inner child for this, but I am now going to negate this again across all timelines. I am going to delete this from my life and I'm going to rewrite it. I mean, you don't have to be as quick and forceful as mine is. It just depends on what the memory is and what the trauma is. And what works the best for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, attachment is the main part, right? When you're going with the manifestation. And there's like a healthy detachment to manifestation. With the unhealthy detachment part, the unhealthy part is the part that she's talking about, the part that triggers. Right? Because only the triggered parts can say, oh, that's never going to happen to me. I'm not worth that. Da, da, da. And then you have to strike that and realize, oh, I'm totally worthy. I've been worthy this whole time. Or it's from this childhood wound. But you know what? It's okay. I'm not the only person with childhood wounds, and I get to be loved.
And no more. And then you say it's no more after that, because it's no more. All right, then, Cat D, get us on out of here.
It's no more.
It's no more.
It's all gone. It's no more.
Gone. There's no more show. All right. Yes. All right, get us on out of here, Cat D.
Make sure that you clean up around our virtual sandbox. Make sure you get all of the sand out of your virtual shoes and socks. Clean up and get your own sand pails and toys. And wishing you your best life ever.
All right then. All right, April Williams.
Stay blessed, stay golden, and remember, you were made for this golden life.
All right then, as always, stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste. Namago. All right then, next week on the playground, we'll be seeing you.